Hi, everybody. You're welcome back to the Country Chats podcast with myself, Sandra Dunlea. I hope you're keeping well. Things are looking up. Things are getting busy, and there's a few concerts and gigs on the horizon now for the summer. So things are definitely looking up for the country music scene. I have a lovely lady from County Cork here in front of me. We've met a few years ago, and we'll get to that now in a few minutes when we have the chats. Laura Dunlea, how are you? How are things?
Hello, Sandra. How are you? Thanks very much for having me.
No problem. I'm delighted to have you. And we were chatting anyway during the week about other stuff. And then I said, oh my God, Jesus, I better get Laura on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, am I right? I could be totally wrong, but am I right in saying we first met at a dancing weekend? Was it in Cork or was it in Kerry or?
I actually don't remember that. I remember, I know,
Where
I
do
feel
you
like I
think
met
we
you
met?
more than once. I know I met you
Yeah.
at the Rose of Tralee when you were the Mayo Rose in 2017. We jived to Nathan Carter in the Dome. But we may have met other than that. I think we may have.
Is that I was going to say that we met at it because I couldn't remember. I knew I had met you, but I couldn't remember where. So I was going to say, was it not at a dancing weekend, a Tom Collis dance weekend?
It was
There
actually.
we go. Yes, I'm not
You don't
really.
remember the first, the second meeting, and I don't remember the first, so we're even.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be totally honest. I do not remember the Rose of Tralee. I'll be straight with you. I think we went to Nathan like this. I can't remember. That whole week is a blur for me. For anyone who doesn't know, I was the Mayo Rose back in 2017, and that 10 days are a total blur. So did you know me then? Or
I did, yeah, I
okay.
did. I like that. Maybe we met, or maybe that was the first time we met. I actually vividly, briefly remember when we met at the Jive weekend.
I don't know which was first.
I don't either.
Now, I actually looked back and to see how long are we friends on Facebook. That's
Oh
how
yeah.
I couldn't remember. So we're friends on Facebook 4 years since 2017. So I think Tralee was in August, and I think I don't know what time of the year I done it for Tom. But anyway, we met twice. We'll go with that.
We're due another meetup.
Yeah. So you don't remember the jive week or the dance weekend, and I don't remember Tralee. So we're both. It's even. It's even.
We've definitely met before.
We have met, and I've met Patrick as well. I'm assuming at the dancing weekend. I'm gonna
Probably.
say I'm gonna
Sounds about
say
right.
yeah. I don't know. Were you together then though? How long are you together?
We're together about 3.5, 4 years now.
Oh, so you probably were. You know what? I haven't a clue. It's that long ago. But anyway,
Time flies.
time flies is right. So you're from Ballydesmond in Cork, and I know that now. I didn't even have to Google that because you got a frame from me for Father's Day, and I got to send that down to you to County Cork. So you're from Ballydesmond there in Cork, and you're working away. Thank God. You were just telling me how you finished the degree back in May. You got your results, and you are working in a play school or creche. Is it?
Yeah, preschool and Ballincollig. Yeah. So I finished my level 8 BA in Montessori education out the gap and got the results. So hopefully we'll get to wear the cap and gown in August or October. So yeah, delighted. It's long 4 years, but thankfully behind me.
Oh no, that's great. Fair play to you. And you were saying you were lucky enough to have you were working already in the preschool before you finished the degree, which was brilliant, coming out of college and you're already in the job, and it's a lot of it makes things a lot easier for you. So that's great. So do you be pulling out the guitar for the kids, or do you be going around singing for them?
Yeah, actually today they graduated, so we did their songs, their nursery rhymes, and yeah, they loved it. They loved the guitar. They had "You Are My Sunshine," and it was lovely with the sunshine and everything. So it was brilliant. They loved the guitar, and it's nice, it's different to a story, so to bring out the guitar, it's enjoyable.
That's fab. It's much more of a novelty for them as well, because you wouldn't be used to it like.
Yeah, I mean, we've had requests for Hit the Diff as well, and one of the children are going around the room, Tommy K, Tommy K, so must be doing something right. It's also a
Absolutely.
catchy song.
Yeah, so you're educating them there about the country music scene, so that's great.
Yeah, it's great,
Brilliant, fair play to you. So I suppose, obviously you've been working away during COVID, so that's been great, and you've been studying away. So it's not that you were getting too bored at home. You had lots to be at, but you were also keeping fairly busy on your YouTube, and even on your Facebook. Like I had a quick scroll there just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. But like you've been throwing up songs, you've been keeping things busy, and you've a new single coming out. So you might be able to tell us actually what date is that coming out? Ireland for the summer.
Yeah, so I announced it last Thursday, and I started posting and emailing out the single, and it's got a few airplays, thankfully. So like that, more DJs getting it this week. But yeah, so I'm delighted now that it's out there. It's been a couple of weeks in the making, so delighted now. Ireland for the summer, yeah. So I think Mike Denver had a hit with it as well, and John Malloy and a couple of other singers I can't think. But yeah, so I don't think a female singer has done it, so that's kind of my take on songs usually. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and I hope that everyone listening to it enjoys it.
I'm sure they will. I haven't got my email yet. Usually, I suppose I'm not a current radio DJ, so I don't get the emails as soon as the other ones, but I will be getting it. It might even have come in today. I'm not even sure. I had to get all the songs in and sure, trying to scroll through them. At least when I know the singer, I'm kind of more inclined to click into it and have a sneaky listen. So I must have a look, but I know the song, and it's a nice, lovely song, and it's a lively song, and it's good timing as well. Obviously the summer and upbeat and things are looking up and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I
So
figured that I definitely won't be leaving Ireland for the summer anyway, so I thought it was
that's
kind of appropriate.
absolutely, that's true. And as I said as well, you were kept busy on the YouTube. You threw up loads of videos, which was great.
Yeah, like I suppose I wasn't really one for the Facebook Live. I much rather having a bunch of people like pre-COVID at a gig, and like you could have hundreds of people in front of me and I would be fine. But put a camera in front of me and just announce it live, and I feel, oh, I don't think I could do it. So in fairness, a lot of singers did do lives over COVID, but instead I did a couple of videos from my sitting room, and yeah, turning on and off the sitting room lights, adjusting the lighting, and getting up the speakers for the sake of it. But it was lovely. I think I did about 4 or 5 songs. So yeah, just I suppose to keep the Facebook active like that, and the new single, of course, it was over a year and a half since I did my single Live Forever. So I was definitely due a song. So yeah, to keep things kind of, while we can't be out gigging, keep things kind of, relevant.
Absolutely. And like, look, look, I know lives were the big thing and Facebook lives, but from, this would be episode 26 of the podcast. And, I'd say only a handful done lives. There was a
Yeah.
few that done it consistently every single week, but for others, it just wasn't for them. And I suppose everyone would assume, oh, if you're a performer, sure, why wouldn't you? And you'd be well able to do the
Yeah.
lives. But even in saying that, I could have done the lives too with the dance lessons, and I didn't. It's not that I didn't bother. It's hard because people think you just set up the camera and away you go, but you actually have to prep, you have to do a sound check, you have to do a lighting check, you have to get yourself settled, and you can do all that and you still don't know how it's going to go because it's alive. So
Yeah, I could start at a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I mightn't wind down till about 7, and then I'd be kind of, I'll do one more, and 7 videos later, but it is worth it, especially when people, interact with it. It's great.
absolutely. And have you any gigs for the summer now? I know, look, it's slowly picking back up, but have you anything lined up, or are you staying
Not at the
down under
moment,
cover?
no. I suppose waiting on the hotels. We have a few hotels in Killarney, and waiting on them to kind of come back like that. So we're hoping, hopefully very soon, that we'll get a little bit more leeway. Yeah.
So do you have a few regular spots that you'd sing in over the summer, is it?
Yeah, so other than the local bars and stuff, which are always great crack as well, we have a few hotels in Killarney, and it's lovely because like you never know the crowd you're going to have. People might stay for 10 minutes or they might stay for 2 hours. A lot of tourists as well would come in, and they'd love the Irish music, so they're mad about it. So it's great, and like that, don't know your crowd every night, and and someone could be out dancing or they could be sitting up in the bar just listening, and it's lovely. It's lovely, it's very kind of very chill.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say we now, is that me? Is that you and your guitar, or you and do you have somebody else with you?
Yeah, I usually have a 2-piece band. Yeah, I usually have a keyboard player with me, and then I'll play my guitar and sing. So it's a good combo.
Fabulous, very good. So yeah, look, you never know, you might get a few gigs yet as things pick up.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
And of course, I suppose we'll keep going with the singing, but you've already brought 2 albums out.
I did, yeah. I
Now
brought
one
out
is
my
a few years ago, I believe.
yeah. I suppose I'll begin by saying that the reason I recorded my first album was that there was a local singing competition, Search for a Star. and I just entered it. Just, you know, I got a message from my neighbor up the road who was running it, and he said, look, go for it, you know, you never know. And I picked out a couple of songs anyway, and I remember the final, there was 4 contestants, and I said I'll sing some kind of a country song, a waltz or a quick step, and the climb. And anyway, the night of the final, anyway, I sang my 2 songs and I ended up winning the competition. I was in shock, like I couldn't believe it. And the prize was to record a 12-track album. So it wasn't something, I suppose, that was on the horizon, especially at the age of maybe 15. But I was handed to me and I took it on with both hands, and I released my first album in 2014. My debut single was Ballyconnell Fair. I cringe every time I see it and hear it on YouTube. And then the second album then was Life as a River, a song known, of course, by Derek Ryan. And that was 2016. And then I've released a couple of singles since then. So, yeah.
So is there a bit of a plan going forward? So maybe for a third, is that
possibly? We're 4 singles in now. I'd say about 4 years on from the last album.
It's getting time. It's getting time.
Yeah. I suppose with college and stuff, I kind of I saw a couple of songs in the back burner, you know, and release them in time. But yeah, hopefully, never know.
You've no excuse now. College is finished now. You have a job, so you have no excuse.
Yeah, that's an exclusive now, Sandra.
That'll be in the papers tomorrow now. And as well as the singing, obviously you're a great dancer. I mean, that's how I would have first, I suppose, seen you was obviously the dance, and then of course Patrick is a dancer too. So do you just be singing and dancing around the kitchen the whole time? Is that how it works?
Yeah, always, yeah. So I suppose driving was never really my thing. It was definitely his thing, and of course we met, and one thing led to another, and we started jiving in competitions and stuff. I knew how to set dance, and my mom is a lovely set dancer. She'll deny it, but she was a lovely set dancer. She did it when she was younger, so it's definitely in the blood. And like a tiny bit of Chanel dancing, but not competitively at all, just for the crack. And yeah, then the jiving came to play, and sure, how could you not love jiving? It's great fun, and going to the bands, and it's great adrenaline. So yeah, Patrick taught me how to jive, and haven't looked back since.
Very good. And so did you have I suppose you would have been able to waltz, I'm guessing, but were you able to jive even a little bit before you met Patrick, or did he fully show you the ropes?
Pretty much, yeah. I had known Tom Collis, so myself, I dragged mom to a couple of jiving classes in Killarney. So that was, I suppose, the brewing of it, I suppose. And then I suppose the quick jive, like the jive to the faster songs, Patrick would have taught me that side. But yeah, definitely the dance classes mom definitely paid off as well.
How far are you from Killarney?
I'm about 25 minutes from Killarney. I'd be actually closer to Killarney. I'm actually on the border, the Cork and Kerry border. We're definitely on the Cork side. Good 2 kilometers from the Kerry side.
No, because the way you were talking there, saying Killarney. Yeah, I suppose I think Cork, and I just think.
Yeah, like I'd be a good hour and 20 minutes from Cork, so I'd definitely be closer to Killarney and Tralee.
Hence why you were in Tralee that night. It's all making sense now.
Yeah,
and look, I know
the leaving cert results.
Oh my God, is that what you
Yeah. Crazy.
Stop. Because I know all about the border situation, because being from Balladreen, I'm literally on the border of Mayo and Roscommon. So it's all go. But yeah,
all fun and games.
It's all fun and games. That's it.
Until the Munster and Connacht Islands.
I was literally about to say until yeah. But anyway, look, what can you do? So you said to me as well that you're already have been listening to some of the podcasts, so that's great. So I didn't even bother warning you about Quickfire round, because I knew I assumed that you would know the crack. So yeah, I was going to message you and I said, no, do you know what? Now we'll see now what's on. So I have the Quickfire round here in front of me. You know the drill, I'm sure. Just throwing out all the random questions, and we'll see what happens, see what you can come up with. Are you ready? So
oh yeah.
Okay, so who is your favorite American country music singer?
Oh, Loretta Lynn, lovely songs. Alison Krauss, they're the ones that come to mind. Yeah.
You like your old school ones?
Yeah, a lot of the old songs, yeah.
Very good. What's your favorite country song to listen to, or to sing, or both?
I have listened, but to listen to, there's a lot of lovely current songs at the moment. Derek Ryan has a lovely new song. Any song from Derek Ryan I love to listen to be honest. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And okay, what do you prefer to sing, a jive or a waltz, or a slow or fast?
Tough one, but I think a jive because, you know, people are out dancing more and the crack is a little bit livelier. So yeah, jive.
And I suppose you'd prefer to jive to or sorry, you'd prefer to dance to a jive as well, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. The next question is, can you dance? We know you can. So that takes, that's that one. Next one, who is your favorite Irish singer? You're going to say Derek Ryan, are you?
Derek Ryan, or Louise Morrissey as well, Cleona Hagan, a lot of fantastic singers, of course, Jerry Guthrie, Patrick Feeney, all of them.
Lovely. Or sorry, do you prefer to perform at a concert or a dance? Or I suppose like a pub dance?
Yeah, yeah, a dance or a pub gig would be neck and neck. A concert's are lovely too, like that you know you can get into the songs, but yeah, I think a dance or a live gig.
What is your favorite venue to gig in?
I suppose I couldn't name one, but definitely one of the hotels in Clarny. As I say, very different to your local pub, but can't beat the local pubs either. But yeah, any bar in Clarny is great crack.
And what's the best gig you've ever done, or the best show you've ever done?
Oh, I know that, well, I wouldn't call it a show or a gig, but when I was 10 years old, question mark, when Cork brought the Slamagora to Ballydesmond, I sang in front of 3,000 people on a lorry, and Liam O'Connor backed me up. So that was definitely a highlight as well, yeah.
Oh, that I totally understand that side of things. Yeah, absolutely.
My Ballydesmond jersey and the striped paint across the face, it was very momentous.
Oh, that is a good one, all right. Who is your biggest fan?
Oh, probably other than my family, my nana Eileen. She is definitely my biggest fan. I was on the phone to her last night and she said this DJ is after playing your song. So have to say, and my family, my mom, dad, my brother Patrick, and they're all my family. They're great supporters, in fairness.
Lovely, good woman. What is your favorite local radio station?
Oh, I'd have to say the local radio, County Sound, C103, but all of the local radio stations, you know, and the online stations, of course, much credit due to them as well.
Excellent. What favorite song to sing? I kind of asked you this one. You were a bit stuck at the beginning, didn't I?
Yeah. I suppose if I had to say, I do love Life is a River, the title track of my second album. It's just such a lovely story to it, you know, and I think everyone can relate in some way to the song.
Absolutely. And last one, tell us something we don't know about you, or we might not know about you already.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one actually. So when I was 10, I was definitely 10 for this one, we were below in Trebalgan in East Cork. It's a kind of a holiday village. And we went on our summer holidays, family 4 went off on our holidays, and we seen that there was like a singing competition, and mom said, why don't you just enter it? And I was like, I've no song lyrics or anything, you know. So mom said, look, just sing Don't Stop Believing, because I used to love that song by Journey. And anyway, went for it and won the competition. So couldn't believe it. So yeah, since then, I suppose I've been living out the title of the song, Don't Stop Believing, you know. So definitely very memorable again, yeah.
Had you know, was it just acoustic, like you had no music or anything, had you?
It was a backing track. Went to YouTube, first backing track I saw, boom, that was perfect.
Oh,
at 10 I didn't know much about the whole, you know, different instruments and stuff, but yeah, it worked out well anyway in the end. And you know, it probably one of my first performances with the light shining down, you know, can't see out to the crowd, and yeah, it felt right.
And did you win anything, or was it just the glory?
Yeah, I won another night stay to the resort. But what I didn't realize was only when we went down that time, the second time, was that it was actually the next round of the competition. So again, totally unprepared. Don't remember much about that night, but I don't think I got any further. But yeah, we got some surprise anyway when we landed, and they said, "Are you ready for the next night?" And I said, "What next night?"
Wow! Oh, that's a lovely story though. And
it was,
nice to look back on, like, you know,
very fond memories now. In fairness.
That is fab. Fair play to you. I actually skipped a question here. Do you play any instruments, Sam? I know you play the guitar.
I do, yeah, I play the guitar. Yeah, I tried the keyboard and I had no patience for it. So guitar it is.
Guitar it is, you'll stick with that.
Yeah.
But I think it's lovely to have the guitar there to accompany you, and you'll never be stuck now with no backing track.
It is, exactly, yeah, and I'm tempted to learn the ukulele over the summer. It'd be handier than the guitar to bring into the preschool, but we'll see. But yeah, the guitar, it's a lovely instrument, and I bought a new one last weekend, so definitely no going back now.
Fab. Was the new guitar was your celebration from getting your results, was it?
Exactly, a treat from me to me.
And when did you start playing the guitar? Was it only when you started singing a bit more, or did you always play it?
Yeah, I think I remember when I recorded Country Roads in November 2000 and I think 17, 16 maybe. And I was new to the guitar then. So about 4 years maybe I've been playing it. And like that, the more you practice, the better you'll get. So, at the beginning, I was like, oh, I can't do this, and kept at it. And now I'm not an exceptional guitar player by any means. I play all the basic chords, but it gets me by, and the keyboard there in the background is always, handy. It's always, helps to bring it along.
Absolutely. No, it's great. And I think at least you have something to do as well, especially if a singer is nervous, you've something to play with, like, you're not just
Exactly.
standing
Yeah.
there,
To keep
like,
you. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah, keep you moving, keep your hands busy, and no, that's great. So yeah, you survived the quick fire round there. May I say you answered them very
Not so
quickly.
quick, but it was
So
great.
I'm wondering now, did you have them all prepped? I'd love because usually there's a bit of a gap, people thinking, but as a big fan of the podcast, you were well. I should have changed up the questions. Maybe I need a bit of a revamp on the questions.
Oh, you caught me now on one of them. I can't remember which one, but I actually had to think about it. But like that, even though like I had read them and listened to a few episodes, like that, it's different, I suppose, when you're thinking about them, like, and I'll probably think back and say, God, I forgot about this song. Or
And have you is there any episodes that you've listened to so far that stuck out, that you really enjoyed, or just maybe that you learned more about, be it your favorite or one that you learned more about the person? Or
the last episode I listened to, it was a young girl. I can't think of her name. It was one of the last ones. That's absolutely desperate. My memory is appalling.
And I'm not sure either. It's that long since I recorded. I'm trying to think. Was it?
I remember.
It wasn't Aoife, was it?
I think I listened to Aoife's and I listened to Alex's, and I can't think.
I can't think either. Listen to Kaylin Joe's.
I did. I listened. Oh, he's an absolute star.
He is a dote. Absolutely loved having him on. He was great, and lovely to have somebody so young. Because I'm so used. I've had a lot of people. Most of the people I've had on the podcast, I suppose, have been from the age 20 maybe to maybe early 30s. Not on purpose. Like, that's just the way it's turned out. Nice to have somebody that bit younger as well. Like.
Absolutely, yeah. No, like even like that, I was really looking forward to it. Like, and it's a different podcast is like a different way to express yourself. Especially when you have the visual as well. It's lovely. It's a great way to get to know people deeper as well. Because other interviews might be short, in 5, 10, 15 minutes maybe. But it's nice to find out the things like that. Something that people may not know about you.
Well, I don't know who does be interviewing you for 10 or 15 minutes. I tell you, I've never done that long. But even like that, when I used people for different TV shows and that, like, it's hard to get everything in 2 or 3 minutes, and they're all the same. They're all the how are you and what's your new song and tell us, and are you happy to be here today?
And that's great. Get out what you need to.
Like, they're all standard enough, like, whereas here, and now please God neither of us will forget this meeting, since we're gone a bit gammy with a few years ago, we won't forget this one. No. But like that, yeah, you get to know people that bit better, like, and just finding out more. And yeah, like that's what's the beauty of it. And I mean, I'm getting to know so much more. Like, I know some of the people I have on, like say yourself, or like Shauna McStravock, I'd know well, Barry Kerwin, I know some of them personally already. So, but I'm still even learning stuff about them, which is lovely.
Absolutely. We need to turn the tables now, and you, Sandra, and you need to tell us what we don't know about you.
I think, I've been hemming and hawing, won't I do a Sandra Ganley episode? I think I'll have to if I run out of talk to. I'd get a bit, I don't know, like, does somebody really want to sit here now and listen to me ramble on? I could, no problem, I could. I think me and Shauna done an episode a few weeks ago, and she kind of tried to interview me. Not that she couldn't. I just kind of was like, anyway.
Of course, the background,
she started, and I just like totally froze, and I was like, let's go back to talking about Shauna. So that's something I'll have to work on, have that bit more confidence to talk. But sure, maybe I should now. You're giving me that boost now to
definitely. Well, you've interviewed so many people at this stage. Well, we'd all listen to you anyway, and 100% everyone else listening would love to know more about Sandra Ganley.
There we go. So if anyone is complaining that I'm doing a podcast on my own, you can blame it on. She told me to. Yeah, she encouraged me and she told me to do it. So special shout, I'll have to give you a shout out. So if I ever do it, I'll be like, this is all thanks to Laura. But no, like that, it's been great to get to know people better. And even like that, like the 2 times we've met, we probably chatted or whatever, but but like we didn't, you know, it wasn't a. I'm guessing it wasn't a deep chat, you know, like
No,
we
I
had a
one
dance.
picture anyway from the Rosa
Is
tree.
there?
I looked it back on my
Stop.
Snapchat memories. Great
Oh
Snapchat
my
memories.
God, will you send that to me?
I will for sure. You've got the sash and everything. You
What
looked
color
$1
dress?
million.
What color dress was he wearing?
Good
Oh my God,
question.
please send it to me now.
I will.
after
I
we're
think it was a
recording.
navy dress. I think it was. I know I was wearing pink.
Stop it. I want to see it because that'll bring me that. I remember going to the Nathan because I think that was like our first night. I think we just met the escorts that day and that was our first night to kind of let
Yeah,
loose.
I think you may have just arrived to Tralee that day, I think possibly.
Yeah, so that was our
I
first
can imagine
proper.
it was a great experience.
Oh, absolutely. So hopefully when I see the photo, it'll bring me right back and I'll remember it. So definitely
Exactly.
photo now
Yeah.
after, and I'll have to throw it up on the podcast page
For
to
sure.
prove that we did actually meet. I don't think there's any of us from the Jiving Weekend because when I went into our friendship on Facebook, there was no tagged photos, so I don't
No,
think
face
so.
yeah, we never uploaded it. It was so exclusive that we never uploaded it.
We were too busy dancing.
Probably, and I don't even remember. Was it in Cork or was it in Kerry? Probably Kerry.
I done one in Bantry, and I done one in Killarney as well. I think I done two in Killarney.
I think it could have been Killarney. Yeah, they're probably the Gneagle, I'd say.
There we go. Isn't that
Possibly.
mad now? So we can confirm we have met twice. We count this as the third time because this is the best out of them all.
Exactly. Yeah, we have the visual now and everything, and the proof, the video even.
The proof, absolutely. Laura, it's been so good to catch up with you and to have the chat and find out a little bit more about you. And I really appreciate you saying yes to coming on the podcast. It's great to have another female on the show.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks so much, Sandra. I was shocked to be asked. I couldn't believe it. I woke up to my messages Monday morning and I said, "Oh, that's a nice message to get it just when you're getting up for work." So yeah, I was delighted, and you know, it's the honor is mine. I'm delighted to be on it, and I can't wait for everyone to hear all about our stories.
Absolutely, and guys, if you do want to go and check out Laura's Facebook page and Instagram, you've everything going, Laura. You've the YouTube, the Facebook, the Insta.
Oh, I try mostly the Facebook. Laura Dunlea on Facebook, or Laura Dunlea Music is the music page. So yeah, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, go and follow and subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you so much for keeping things going here with the podcast, for tuning in every week, for all the lovely messages you're sending and the sharing and the liking. And we just reached 1,000 followers on Instagram as well, which is great. So keep sharing and following and all that fun stuff. As always, mind yourselves, stay safe, guys, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Slán.